For our anniversary episode, we got into does this still slap, and then realized, oh shit, we haven't even described.
We're like, oh my god, wait, what's this movie about?
And Paprika's confusing enough.
That. Yeah.
Just a little guidance.
Little context, please.
Yeah, so for this movie, I'll just say again, if you want to go completely blind, save your spot here, know absolutely nothing about this premise, stop here, come back, go watch the drama. Spoiler-free version will still talk spoiler-free, but
the description, even I wouldn't even read it before you go.
Just Robert Pattinson, Zendaya, hold on to your butts. Welcome to Seeing This, the movie podcast where we dish out the latest movie reviews, celebrate our favorite movie anniversaries, compete in competitive movie drafts, and much, much more. I am the movie mama, Mike Ornelas, and we've always said it. Robert Pattinson, just the weird little British freak. Joining me on the podcast is the feisty Pisces, Erica McMahon.
I fucking hate Rachel.
And also on the podcast, welcome back, the Gerber baby-faced assassin, Adrian Cedeno.
Right in the schnoz.
And that's all in reference to A24's latest film, The Drama. Really interesting movie, a lot to talk about, but off the top, in our spoiler-free section, we're going to just give very high-level premise of this movie, but I think going into this movie blind will be the best experience. We concur?
Yes.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay. With that being said, just quick programming reminders. If you're new to us here at Seeing This, welcome. If you're a returning listener, we appreciate and love you. Hopefully you saw last Friday, I had an interview with writer-director Vanessa Estevez and her animated short film, Christopher and the Bug. Erica, did you get a chance to catch that?
I haven't yet. I've been studying for school and stuff, but no, I really want. I think I might have some time to watch it tonight. So
awesome. Well, that does the podcast a lot of good for today, but nonetheless, take my word for it. It's a very heartwarming, fun, family-friendly movie. And I talked to Vanessa, which came out Friday, and we have a great conversation around community, the importance of having people in your lives, and kind of the metaphor behind the film. So take a look at that if you haven't yet. Next Friday, this coming Friday, Sacred Screens and Stages continues with episode 2. Episode 1, we looked at 2110 Theater, and this is a new program that I'm putting together where we take a look at local theater stages, movie screens, things of this nature. And episode 2 is going to be Movie Madness, which is a local video rental store which also has a miniplex small screen inside of there where they show films. And they are celebrating their 35th anniversary on April 12th. So this Friday, April 10th, I talked to the head curator and creative director there at Movie Madness. So take a look at that on Friday. Next week, it's all about the Gerber baby-faced assassin. Birthday coming up. So we are going to kick things off with his movie anniversary pick from his birth year. Should we spoil what it is, or so that people can look forward to it, or surprise?
I mean, yeah, might as well, right?
Okay. Well, if you had to pick any movie from 1987, you listener, what would you pick? And does it match up with what Adrian picked, which is
The Princess Bride?
As you wish, Adrian, as you wish. We will be covering the 39th anniversary of The Princess Bride next week on Monday. And then Friday, we're going to have an additional episode where we do a 1987 movie draft.
I haven't seen that movie in a really long time. So.
Oh, really?
Yeah. I don't know that it's like not one of my favorites. Just wasn't something that was that my mom put on in the background. It was one of those where it was always on a channel you had to pay extra for. So never really, yeah, we're poor. So we've never really had those channels. So it wasn't really something that I saw constantly. Whereas I saw Grease all the time.
Sure,
I saw, there was other movies that were staples, Titanic, all that stuff. So it'll be nice to revisit. And
I don't think you're alone. I think it's considered a classic and a lot of people have seen it, but I think there are households shout out my buddy Jeremy. We've talked about him a few times. Shout out Jer, who hadn't seen The Princess Bride until a few years ago, and I put him onto it. And the first time he was like, "Oh, this is silly. This is da 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 da," but like ended up quoting the movie. Is definitely one of his favorites
Yeah.
now. So I look forward to our conversation.
Inconceivable.
Yeah, exactly. We'll look forward to that next week when we talk about that. And then, like I said, 1987 movie draft the following Friday. So lots happening. So subscribe, follow, like, comment, subscribe, be a part of the tribe. Seeing This Pod, you can find us everywhere. Just go to seeingthispod.com. Easiest way to find all of our stuff. Filmmaker interviews, episodes, merch. Adrian, we got some board shorts coming out, or just came out actually, for here in April.
I saw them. They're pretty nice. I think I
All
might get a
right.
pair.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I like it. There's some insinuations in the design. But...
Yes, absolutely.
So you could take a look at that at seeingthispod.com and go to our merch. But nonetheless, before we get to the, I mean, women wear board shorts. It could work for them as well.
I just meant the humor behind
I see.
it.
Hey, ladies, seeing this, listeners, take a look. What do you think? Would you and or your partner, whether they're a woman or a man, wear them? Let us know by buying some. Let's jump into what we've seen this week. Adrian, we missed you for the Paprika episode where we celebrated that anniversary. What a trip of a movie. Can't wait.
No, I'm going to need you to text us the moment you finish it.
And
all right.
Try to watch it with Anthony, because we were talking about the generational dynamic.
Yeah.
Of like, if it still slaps for a younger. So father-son time. Check it out. But what have you seen this week? And we'll kick off with you since we missed you last week.
All right. So I saw a movie on Hulu, Mike and Nick and Alice. It's with Erica's boy, James Marsden, and Vince Vaughn.
Oh. and my woman, Isa Gonzalez. Yes. She's back.
It was okay. I don't want to give any spoilers about what it was or anything like that. I don't think
no
it's
idea
Vince.
how happy it makes me to hear that movie is mediocre.
If that.
Wow.
I don't think it's Vince Vaughn's best work. I don't know. It just looked like it was a little awkward for him. Some of the fight scenes were really cool. And I was like impressed by Vince Vaughn, like, oh, he can fight, or at least did the training, like the choreographed, all right.
Yeah.
But aside of that, I didn't really like the storyline. It was kind of a blah movie.
Yeah, so I saw the trailer for this. I mean, loosely, because I try not to see it, and it was on my radar to watch. I actually got a screener for it, but just didn't have time to get around to it. So I'm curious to hear that you didn't enjoy it, because this is an offense to you, Adrian, but it feels like a brain off movie. It feels like you don't take it too seriously.
Yeah, you're not meant to take it too seriously.
But still didn't do it for you.
You still didn't do it for me, and it was more like it looked like Vince Vaughn was like awkward, like it just didn't seem like he was just himself. Like he was acting, and you could tell he was acting. I don't know. It just didn't do it for me. It wasn't my thing.
Fair enough. And that's Mike, Nick and Alice, which is streaming on Hulu. If you guys want to check it out, let us know if you felt the same way. Erica, give me 1 second. As you can see, the sun is setting and I have my blind open, so let me close that real quick.
The glare off your dome.
I know. Off the head.
You guys talking shit? No, I hear it.
Something about the glare coming off your dome.
Yeah, well, I can't wait to get my color back. Erica, what have you seen this week?
Yeah, so I have been hearing a lot of rumors, especially with this press tour from Mario, from Donald Glover, that Community movie might be actually being made. So I took a dive back into the show.
Oh, cool.
It's something that I've already seen like 1,000 times, but it's also one of those where I can like put it on in the background and like go about my business and then like giggle when I hear something that makes me laugh. So it's really crazy actually. Peacock has the Dungeons and Dragons episode that was like shadow banned from like other platforms
really?
because of kind of the controversy of certain people.
Wait, elaborate. What's the controversy?
Like Ken Jeong, he is a dark elf because they're playing Dungeons and Dragons, but he comes in all black. Like literally everything is all black. So like one of the characters, who's also a black woman, goes, "We're just gonna ignore the hate crime over there."
Oh, like he's
So
like in
Got like
blackface?
blackface.
like
Like
completely
like
black. He's
not
got
just
the
his clothes.
well, he's got elf ears that are black. He's black, and then he's got like a
Oh
little
yeah, okay.
like yeah.
Oh dear.
So that was like shadow banned from Hulu for a really long time, but they have it on Peacock. So I was watching that one and I was like, you know what? If they're able to do a movie, I really hope that they have the writers that they had from the first 3 seasons, because
Mm.
like there was a whole controversy around like how the show, like it was during the writer's strike, and then when they came back there was no continuity. Like collectively everybody thinks the 4th season sucks, and so like hopefully with the movie, if they're really doing it and going forward, I really really hope that they get it right.
What I've seen this week, I've seen quite a few things, but I'll limit it to just 3 real quick. I watched this independent film called Basic, and I actually will be interviewing the cinematographer later this week, and then I'll be publishing that later this month. But it is essentially a film that is like half satire, half thought provoking, and typically isn't my like genre because it's kind of it's how do I put this without getting canceled? It's like it's very much from a woman's perspective of like the dating life and looking through your current boyfriend's phone and finding his ex-girlfriend and a spiral you can go down through that. But it's really well done. It's really I enjoyed it a lot more than I thought I would for this type of genre, which just isn't my speed typically. So definitely recommend checking out Basic. I think it's doing the festival circuit. But like I said, talking to cinematographer, and we'll bring that out later this month. And then I also for Easter, what an incredible Easter experience. I went to Keegan's Theater here in Vancouver, Washington, independent theater. Shout out. Maybe we'll be featured on sacred screens and stages in the future. But I saw The Matrix. Erica, I think you talked about seeing The Matrix a couple of weeks ago, right?
Yeah, and like the crazy thing about the Matrix too, I mean, we've obviously talked about like how much younger I am than the both of you, but The Matrix wasn't something that I watched as a kid. Like it was just outside of my reach. So I essentially watched all 3 of those movies for the first time like 2 years ago.
Oh, wow. Yeah.
So yeah, it was very new to me, but I really liked them. So my brother and I had like watched the new one that came out. Liked it for the most part. Like it was what it was. Like you kind of knew what was coming the entire time.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, what a crazy fun experience to go see that in a theater though. Like
So,
I did.
so I at the theater, like it's a great, it only has one screen, but it is a large scale theater within that one screen. It
Mhm.
feels a bit old school in that sense. And I was front row. I went to the front row because I love being like immersed, but it wasn't like I'm not like looking up and hurting my neck. It was just
Yeah.
like a proper distance.
They've
And
gotten they've gotten better with those. I think when
most,
a lot
yeah.
of theaters like updated, they kind of moved that
Not only
back.
that, but they recline.
Yeah.
If they recline, it helps a lot for sure.
Yeah.
For
Mhm.
sure. Where's your
Did it take
ideal?
you back down like memory lane? Like, did you feel like you were watching it in theaters the first time again?
So I don't I mean, I would have been 13 when this movie came out in
Right.
1999. And I just remember leaving the Matrix being like, yeah, I know we're old. Erica,
Baby. I was a
Erica,
baby.
you're what, 6? 5?
I
Jesus
was
Christ.
12.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But like seeing the Matrix the first time, it's like this is different. Like this is a movie where I didn't know you can make a movie about this and totally change your brain chemistry on like your outlook on life. You know what I mean? And seeing it in the theater this time, it did a couple things. A, it's 27 years old now, which is crazy to say out loud. The Matrix is 27 years old.
That's crazy.
It's crazy to think that that movie was just before the turn of the millennium.
Yes. Yes. I'm sorry, but I just imagine just a bunch of Y2K people like, "The Matrix, the fucking Matrix," like, just
Yeah.
baffled by this
Yeah.
movie.
But it's so ahead of its time because like the whole
Mm.
premise, like they talk about it. I think Morpheus is explaining to Neo that like We don't know when exactly, but early in the 21st century, man created AI. And like, not that that's so profound to predict that, like it was on the way,
But
but
here's the
just to be
thing,
in it.
right? I mean, I don't know if you've seen it, but Neil deGrasse Tyson even said there's like only a 50% chance that we actually are in the Matrix.
Right,
Those
right.
are fucking insane odds.
Yeah.
Those are insane odds. Like, are you serious? Like, but he even said, like, if we are, this would be the first like generation of humans to try to like discover that. Like
And yeah, be
how
conscious
the
of it somehow.
Matrix is set up and how he like finally gets unplugged. Like he said, if it's true, that's the stage that we're at right now.
I mean, I honestly will, hopefully, and we will still be around if the world's still around in 2029, and we'll do the 30th anniversary of the Matrix and dive a bit deeper. But I don't want this to be a 5-hour episode. But like, yeah, just seeing it in the theater also reminded me, like, it's a great testament of how important movie theaters are, and to watch a movie like that in the theater. Because at home, especially if you've seen it before, like, you get the beats and you're like, oh yeah, this is cool, it's a great movie. But in the theater and like really locked in, you tap into like certain details, the way they do the action, the dialogue that's happening. And lastly, I'll just say it might be the most balanced movie end to end. Like, from the beginning to the end, you're locked in, it progresses smoothly, the dialogue doesn't give away too much by the end. Like, Neo's power and growth is very step by step. He's not just suddenly Super
And
Saiyan,
Hugo Weaving,
I mean, it's almost biblical.
Incredible.
always.
He's not, well, he's biblical the whole way, but you see a lot of the journey. You know what I mean? And Hugo Weaving, yeah, honestly, hot take, he's the best. Like, best performance in the Matrix, maybe.
Wait, his best performance or he's the best performance?
Yes, and yes.
No.
We'll stick around for 3 years, folks. We'll do the 30th anniversary of the Matrix. And then just lastly, one other thing that I watched a couple nights ago, or last night actually, I watched Licorice Pizza, PTA's film before One Battle After Another. And I just love when the universe works out this way, where I watch something and then I see someone like Alana Haim in the drama. She's the star. She's the star in Licorice Pizza. She's Rachel, as Erica alludes to in her opening statement in the drama. I have thoughts about her performance also in the drama, but we'll
Which
get
is,
into that.
yeah, I'm curious to see how you feel about her.
Loved Licorice Pizza. It's a 4.5-star movie for me. Great to see Philip Seymour Hoffman's son, Cooper Hoffman, in that. His first like main lead role, and I thought he did great. PTA, I'm a homer. You know how I am. It was great. Great time. Licorice Pizza. Great soundtrack. Great soundtrack. Nonetheless, let's dive into the drama. We have a lot to talk about.
Have you seen this?
Have you seen this?
Have you seen this?
I know, I've seen this. I know this.
So, the drama, A24, a studio that brings banger after banger, unless you consider Marty Supreme not a banger like Erica, but we don't have to get back into that. Adrian, welcome back. Kick us off with this letterbox description, which again, I will just say, if you made it this far,
missed you last week because we completely glossed over.
For our anniversary episode, we got into the does this still slap, and then realized, oh shit, we haven't even described.
We're like, oh my god, wait, what's this movie about?
And Paprika's confusing enough.
Yeah,
just a little, just a little guidance, for
little
sure.
context, please.
Yeah. So for this movie, I'll just say again, if you want to go completely blind, save your spot here. Know absolutely nothing about this premise. Stop here, come back, go watch the drama. Spoiler-free version will still talk spoiler-free, but
the description,
themes,
even I wouldn't
like,
even read it before you go.
Just Robert Pattinson, Zendaya. Hold on to your butts. Okay, what is the letterbox description?
All right. The drama, directed by Christopher Borgli. A happily engaged couple is put to the test when an unexpected turn sends their wedding week off the rails.
Beautiful. Beautiful. Erica, let's go ladies first. What did you think about the drama?
I liked it.
Mm-hmm.
I was sufficiently annoyed with certain characters. But I feel like that meant they did a really good job because like you were feeling a lot. You definitely come out of this movie wanting to talk to people about it for sure. Um, I think this is gonna maybe shake up some friendship circles for sure. Um, but it's also a testament to like making sure you have the right people around you at all times. People who are gonna support you in the hardest times that essentially you go through. So that's like the best I can do without giving spoilers.
Yeah. I mean, I think the premise that there's a wedding that is, they're leading towards, and things happen before the wedding. And I think that's fair to circle around. And you're referring to different characters. There's maid of honors, there's best men, there's parents, there's this, there's that. So the movie introduces certain characters and their dynamics within the whole lead up and to the event of a wedding. And I think that's essentially what you're referring to, right?
Yeah.
Got it. Okay.
Yeah.
Adrian, what did you think about the drama?
It was an interesting movie.
Okay.
There's a lot going on here. There's a lot to unpack as far as different characters and their motives or their intent, stuff like that, where I don't know how I felt about each one. Like it's similar to like a movie with all crappy people again, going through like all the crap that they have to go through. But hearing Erica talk about like knowing who your people are, it feels like they're young and just in a rush. It almost felt like what's that, Fools Rush In movie kind of a thing.
Very
So
different vibe though, but
yeah,
very different vibe, but same kind of like you just fall in love and make things happen right away instead of really finding out the type of person you're picking, right? But that's a slippery slope in itself. Like I've got a high school sweetheart where like we could have either grown together or grown apart, you know what I mean? So
yeah,
I get that time kind of is a buffer for some of those things where you kind of figure out what you're okay dealing with
right.
and what you're not okay with. And this definitely like towed that line. It was fun.
I think, for this conversation, obviously, we'll talk about the movie, but I think what this movie does is really open up a lot of conversation starters and like, kind of about relationships. I don't, this isn't necessarily a spoiler, but do you guys recall if they said how long they were together
Mm-mm.
before?
I went back and they
They
don't
don't
talk
say how
about.
long they were
Mm-mm.
actually together.
I don't
Okay.
think
Not at
so.
all.
I would presume it's around like 3 years, maybe.
Yeah.
Maybe.
I mean,
Well,
it feels like
nonetheless,
quicker than that.
I guess,
To be
but
fair, 3 years is still kind of quick.
sure. I mean, it's all generational, right? Like, me and Erica have been waiting 30 plus years and still not making the move. Adrian, I did think about you when I was watching this movie for a multitude of reasons, but specifically your take on that dynamic that you brought up about knowing your partner, because you are in a unique situation of being married to someone you dated in high school. So you guys were literally children when you met. So as far as like sharing all the parts of your lives, knowing the in, out, ugly parts of everything.
Like for you, it seems like you guys have probably known a lot about each other, and like as you're going on and going through these things, they're there. You know what I mean? Versus like you meet somebody new in a new area, and like yeah, we'll get it. Well, we need to get into spoilers.
Yeah, we do need to get into spoilers, but
Yeah,
I
no,
think we need to do our.
for sure. Well, let me give you my thoughts with my guest. I do have a guest for this episode. And speaking of Cooper Hoffman and Philip Seymour Hoffman, my guest today is Philip Seymour Hoffman from The Master. And in this film and in this scene, I represent. My thoughts are Philip Seymour Hoffman and Joaquin Phoenix in this scene is Christopher Borgli, the director and writer of this film, and I think their quick dialogue here represents how I felt about this movie, the drama.
If I got out of hand last night, it's cold and those.
Don't apologize. You're a scoundrel. And as a scientist and a connoisseur, I have no idea the contents of this remarkable potion. What's in it?
Secrets.
Can you make more?
Well, not like that. Let me make you something different, better, make something special for you. How do you like to feel?
I will give you a full reprieve from your naughtiness as a stowaway if you make us some more. I must admit, I sampled it and ended up drinking it all.
If this is a sample of the work that Christopher does, I'm drinking it all. I didn't realize he actually also directed this movie behind me. Oh yeah, Dream Scenario. Sorry.
I'm like, I cannot see that at all.
Dream Scenario with Nick Cage, and that movie was produced by Ari Aster. The drama was produced by Ari Aster, and when I saw that in the opening credit, it's like, oh boy, okay, what are we in for? And it definitely stayed true. I really enjoyed this movie. I found this to be the best movie of the year so far. It's been my favorite thus far. And the reason I positioned it as like me, Philip Seymour Hoffman in that scene, and Joaquin Phoenix opening saying, you know, I'm sorry if I upset you, because there is certain things that this movie touches on that could upset some people. Interestingly enough, we talked about that also in Good Luck, Have Fun, Don't Die, does something similar. Weapons does something similar. And I think if you are offended by kind of the underlying issue that's being addressed here, totally understandable. But I think the intent and the way that the story is told is really refreshing as far as like examining something that's very important and very serious, but still being a bit of a dark comedy. I thought the performances were great. I thought Robert Pattinson and Zendaya were great, spot on for what they were asking.
They've had great press too, dude. I like you said, just a little freak, and Robert Pattinson, he's so funny.
Yeah.
He's just like, it cracks
Witty.
me up for one that he's a compulsive liar. Like, I just think it's so funny that he goes
It's a
around
good
lying.
bit.
Like, it's so funny. And then just having him rebound off of, and I don't want to say that Zendaya is innocent, but she just has such like a playful demeanor when she's very well coached for media. But like having that and then having someone as unhinged as Robert Pattinson with her,
He's great.
it's
Yeah.
been such a highlight.
She seems a little naive, right?
Well, I don't think she's naive. Are you talking about her like in press or
Like,
her in the movie?
yeah, in the press. Like, she's
Yeah.
definitely not naive, but it's like, it almost like if sometimes she doesn't really know if he's like, wait, is this a part of your
Sure.
is this a part of your bit, or are you for real right now? Like,
Yeah. I think this might be the best marketing for a movie in a long time, in the sense of the trailer and the press is giving absolutely nothing away about this movie. And I think what's brilliant about the trailer, which like I really try to avoid them, but you see little images, fucking social media nukes you with fucking content, you know?
We'll watch
But
our movie.
But what I think is brilliant about the marketing here is even if you see an image or like a quick scene from the trailer, there's so much context behind that scene.
You're getting like the thumbnail and there's like a whole photo that you're missing.
And I think even like the movie inside the movie or the commentary inside the commentary is context is so important. And a lot of this movie is about context and your interpretation of context of what flies, what doesn't. But overall, I really enjoyed it. Let's go to our Commodus Scale. Up, down, or even? I will say I watched this movie and in my row were two elderly ladies, probably in their late 60s, early 70s. right? And even behind, like, it was an older demographic. And granted, I actually saw this movie today at noon.
Wow.
Yeah, right.
No
Uh,
wonder it was an older crowd.
yeah, right. But when the movie ended, I walked out with those two ladies, and I immediately asked, like, so what did you think? And both of them were like, well, that was something. Like that's not what we were expecting. And again, it's interesting the way the trailer portrayed what this movie is. There's a wedding, it's almost, it could be a
Yeah.
rom-com. It could be a rom-com, which I'd say it's a dark rom-com. It still has a lot of the same beats.
Yeah.
But I asked them, I say all this because I asked them by the end of our conversation, like, so overall, up, even, or down. So I gave them the Commodus scale, and they both went even, which gives me hope for
Yeah.
an older generation like that to end up at least saying even, that they appreciated certain aspects of the movie. So
Fair.
I'll go to you guys. Erica, you start us off. Up, even, or
Thumbs up.
down? Thumbs up.
Up.
Fuck yeah. Okay.
Yeah, like I said, I really liked this movie. You're gonna not like some people. You're gonna feel empathetic for some and not for others. And so I
Hmm.
think, like you said, going into this blind, it's definitely a ride. It's definitely a roller coaster. But overall, I did enjoy it. I kind of agree with you. I think that we got two really good performances, and I think this is going to be a movie to talk about for a while.
Absolutely. Adrian, where are you landing?
I'm up, but I was like kind of trending downward. The more I think about it and the more I try to like break it down, the less I'm like, it's still not a movie I'd watch again.
Oh, interesting.
Like it's not something I need to revisit. I get it, and it works. It was great acting. They have wonderful chemistry. And like you guys said, like there's plenty of context and lots of stuff to absorb. But it's not my type of movie. Like it's not a banger that I can go back and just rewatch and rewatch and rewatch. Like it does evoke too much emotion that I can't just be like, okay, I'm gonna watch this for fun right now.
There's some movies that do evoke emotion that you've given strong thumbs up for, but
Mhm.
does that eliminate it being a rewatchable, like something you would revisit? More
No,
okay,
it's just this one's more along those lines, like almost like a Marty Supreme. Like it's a good movie, but it's still just kind of pointless. Like just bad people in bad experiences and bad circumstances. Like,
it's so
and that's where I
fast.
kind of like I don't know. It just sometimes they do it for me, sometimes they don't. I can't
Fair.
explain why. Yeah.
It's fascinating, and we can discuss in spoilers here shortly. But that you're saying this cast is full of bad people, but I think that's kind of like the theme around the movie itself. Is
Right.
kind of like
Right. It's not
assessing.
the cast.
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
It's not that like Zendaya is a bad person or
No. I
Robert
understand.
Pattinson's
No,
a
no,
bad
no. I
person, you know what
understand
I
what you
mean?
mean. The
Like
characters.
it's
Yeah. I
like
get that.
it's hard to root for any of the characters.
Hmm, hmm,
To be honest, like when we get into spoilers, like
No,
maybe
we're getting into
that's my
spoilers
hot
right
take.
now. Let's
Let's get
go.
into it because my hot take would be
Whoa,
like,
wait. Let me give my fucking Commodus scale. Take it easy.
Hurry up.
We got a system here, all right? Thumbs up on my end, and I will just say this movie clearly gets you fired up with
oh
opinions
yeah,
and
for
thoughts
sure.
and all the things. So really enjoyed it. Like I said,
As I said, it's definitely a conversation starter. If you're
my
watching this movie, you're gonna want to talk to somebody about it.
my movie of the year, and I would recommend, if you know my taste, you've kind of seen where I lean. You'll have a good time with this movie. And we all give it a thumbs up. I think it'll just like
Mhm.
wanting to revisit might be different. I think I would revisit this, not right away, but I think
In
I
a
like.
couple years, I would revisit this movie again.
I
Or
think
maybe like before award season if it's thinking about getting nominations or anything. I'd watch it again.
maybe, yeah, that'd be interesting to see if that happens. I did like the world that they built. Granted, you're saying there's characters that like you didn't necessarily like, but I enjoyed spending time with Pattinson and Zendaya. Like,
Yes.
I don't know,
They had great chemistry. Like Adrian said, like they work very well together. I know that they're also gonna be in Dune as well. I don't really know the Dune story, so I don't know the dynamics and stuff.
yeah.
But I know that they're both in a lot of movies this year, so it'll be kind of
They're crushing
interesting
it.
to see how their other performances do against this, because I like you said, I really liked this.
Adrian's excited for you audio only listeners because he's got some stock in this movie, and so do I. But we'll get to that when we draft stock. Stand by. Let's get into spoilers so we can talk freely.
Spoiler alert.
So spoilers for the drama. Let me start with this. Let me raise this question. What is the worst thing you guys have ever done?
I knew you were gonna ask that. I knew you were gonna ask that. You're terrible.
No, you don't gotta.
Terrible.
You don't gotta answer that. I'm not answering that. That's fine because I'm a saint and angel and it'd be boring, of course. But this movie really just tackles how well do you know your partner before going to marry them, and what is a breaking point of discovering something about them that would totally change your perspective on this person.
So this is my biggest nitpick about this movie, because I really liked it, right? And maybe this is how it works in certain friend groups. It would never fucking fly in mine. Like, there's way too much respect amongst me and my friends for this to like ever happen. Especially like a deep dark secret like that. Like, it just, I would never find myself in the scenario. I'm happy to say that I have friends who would never do this to me. This needed to be a conversation that they have in private.
Okay,
Like,
okay.
The dynamic of
how it came up.
Yeah, of how it came up, of who's asking, of the people involved. Like, this should have been a conversation between a couple.
So
that's just my biggest hiccup.
So just for context here, Emma and Charlie are at their like tasting to confirm the meals and the wedding, whatever, and the maid of honor and the best man are there with them. They've been drinking, clearly. They ask for more wine, and they say that they see their DJ smoking heroin on the street, which then leads to like, oh, maybe we just saw her on her worst day. And it leads to the question that Rachel, your girl, says like, what's your guys' worst day? Hey, babe, tell them your worst day, which toxic as fuck, throwing your man under the bus to be like, yo, what's your worst day? Tell them. It's so
like,
funny about
I
the dog.
confided in you in like private, and now you're gonna be like, hey, you used her as a human shield. Like, first off, that's not even that bad. I've done that. Like, I'll admit, like, I used my wife as a human shield.
You put rosin in front of you?
I thought it was a snake. Like, she does better with snakes. Like, she'll go and grab it like nothing. Like, so when I jump back, I didn't even use her as a shield. I didn't grab her, you know? Like, it's just kind of like a, get behind me. Like, yeah. So that's not even that bad. But they're some terrible people. Like Erica said, my friends are some dirtballs. And yes, if we were to have we would never ask that question. Like, what's the worst you've done? Because we're afraid of the answer. So, two, to have them like actually give an answer and then judge them based off of that answer, like, absolutely not.
That's why I hated Rachel.
And I think the movie does a great thing of anticipating what the audience's reaction is going to be, right? Because when she first says like, oh, it's crazy about the dog, and Charlie, Robert Pattinson, is like, did you fuck a dog? Right? Because like your brain goes like the worst thing you could do is like fuck a dog. But also, not only that, but then it goes into like Rachel, her worst thing is, I think it was
way worse.
And is literally the worst fucking thing. Like, is so terrible.
Puts a mentally slow person and locks him in a closet. And in the moment when she's telling the story, I was like, wait,
that's terrible.
Like, what she's saying she did, like, is that what she did? Like, that's fucking horrible. And then she elaborates on like, there was a search party.
Hours.
Everything. I'm like,
but I appreciate that they don't necessarily on that spot focus on that, because we need to get to Emma and her revelation, which is, well, we'll get to that because that's a core part of this movie. But fast forward when Charlie is confronting Rachel, she's like, what you did, like, you put a mentally disabled person and locked him in the closet. I never said, like, the fact that they circled back on that to make us feel like, yeah, we're not tripping. Like, that was fucked up.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I appreciate that the movie did that. in this conversation that you guys are alluding to, Rachel, they all pressure Emma to say what she did, and she says that she planned and almost carried out a school shooting, right? And everyone's reaction is like, oh, you're kidding, you're joking, whatever. But that is where the movie turns, because now Charlie is thinking, do I know this person that I'm going to marry? I've been working on my wedding vows. I need to change it all. I'm talking about your empathy, but like,
Again,
Which that's a
if you're
problem.
getting married, that's a conversation you should have already had.
I'm sorry, but I would never ask my wife, my girlfriend, like, what's the worst thing you've done? I need to know before we get married, because
No,
like
but you could be like, hey, is there anything that you think that I deserve to know about you? And if
and
that's something that comes up and she's like, you know what, I think I really need to trust this person and tell them that. Or if it's something you want to
I
take
don't
to the
know.
grave, that's completely up to you. But again, you need to be having that with your own partner, not with other people.
I think the excuse that the movie will use and that I think is justified is that they were all drinking, right? So
Yeah.
in the moment, in the spot, I think if this is your best man and your maid of honor, there's a level of trust, justified or not, smart decision or not, that you can
Terrible
talk
maid of
about
honor.
this. Absolutely, the worst. But I think revealing that obviously sends everyone on a spiral. Rachel, played by Alana Haim, is like, "Oh, you thought about doing it? My cousin's in a wheelchair from a mass shooting," and she represents the reaction. And this is my own interpretation. I think the people that I said might get offended by this movie and by that being a topic, I think Rachel represents, right? Is that they leave no room for this conversation to be had. You know what I mean? Does that make sense?
She leaves no room for anybody else's judgment but her own.
Correct. And won't hear out any explanation. And I think
Which is so tough because in a system where things like that happen constantly, to have it depicted where somebody didn't go through with it and showed a remorse and was embarrassed and it was a shameful thing. It was obviously her deepest, darkest secret. That's the part that I mean, with Alana, like, she plays it well. She's kind of gaslighting and she's kind of being like, well, no. What I did's not that bad. What you did is fucked up. Look at this person. And it's like, well, hold on a second. Like, she has shame about it. Like, she regrets it. It's her deepest, darkest secret. Like, she's so
and you're laughing
terrified
about
and
what you did, you know?
Right.
yeah,
You're
like
dismissing it. Yeah.
very dismissive of what she did, which essentially traumatized another human. You know what I mean?
And something the
And is
movie does,
traumatizing another human a second time, like
right?
putting Zendaya on the spot. Like, whoa,
Yeah.
like that's pretty shady too. Like twice
Mhm.
now,
Yeah.
in the same conversation, you've proved that you're the worst person out of all of them.
In regards to the filmmaking aspect, and I wanted to bring this up because I thought of it right off the bat because the movie does it early, is we do have flashbacks. And we've talked about a couple episodes where that hasn't worked for me and that it takes me out of the movie. This is a great example of how it's fucking perfect because
Very well done.
it loses no momentum when it does it. It's all in the same conversation
Mhm.
as we're discovering who these people are, their backstory. When we learn
Very
about
good building blocks to
correct.
get you to the end.
And I love the way they filmed the flashback of Emma Zendaya's story of when she was going through that hard time in her life. Like the setting and the
Mhm.
way it's filmed feels like the 90s or early 2000s. It feels of like a different time. So they did a good job of separating that, but everything built up on top of itself. So it didn't feel like I was being ejected from the main plot like I have in other
Mhm.
movies we've talked about. I also appreciate how there's little subtle things that happen. Like they go after they find out about this, after this is revealed, they go to do wedding photos, right? Or like a pre-wedding photo thing. I fucking love that.
The
I
awkwardness
fucking
that
Oh, it
the
was good. It
photographer's
was
like,
very well
smile,
done.
smile. make sure you
Yeah.
smile. Never mind. We'll work on it when we're doing it. Yeah.
Give me
forget
a
it.
real smile, right? Give me like a natural smile, right? And shout out to Zoe Winters, who plays the photographer. She's also, if you guys have watched Succession, she's like one of the not lead characters, but she's an important character in that as well. And
Yeah.
she plays that kind of role so well. But one thing I really appreciated about that is the terminology she uses, right? All right, so we're gonna shoot your mom, and then we're gonna shoot your dad, and then the grandparents. Oh, that's a wish list to shoot. It's like,
Yeah.
it's just so smart and so creative.
Yes.
The
And
writing
then
was definitely on point. So there were even like other little like where Robert Pattinson is like trying to defend her and like, hey, how about all the people who like there's probably thousands of people who actually have planned it, maybe even been about to go through with it, and then they don't, and nobody ever knows about it. They're still just regular
right. They're
people
talking
walking around.
about
Like little plugs like that were just like, man, that's like perfect, spot on writing. Like he's just trying to explain it, and it's really
That's
him going through his own psyche and like trying to.
that's where they give you like that little smidge of like you do feel sympathy, empathy, any kind of you do kind of feel sorry for her that she was just put in that situation in the first place to like
That's
have
what
to bring
my
that
hot
up again.
take. My hot take
Mhm.
is Zendaya maybe like her character is probably one of the better people in this film. Like
Yeah.
I know they try to paint her as like the villain, but she really is a
No.
transformation, like a restoration project. Like she
Mm.
maybe was bad and had bad intentions originally, but she's reformed, and because of that, like that honesty and that vulnerability, like she's the hero of the story.
And I appreciate like I take notes oftentimes on these new films, and I ran out of space by maybe the end of the second act, but I had a little space, and in brackets I just put empathy, because that's what this movie is about, right? It's about two things: passing judgment unjustly, and then
Love.
it's about empathy, from
Mhm.
understanding the full context of something and putting yourself in someone else's shoes. And I love that theme. I mean, even the fact that like the first thing he deletes in his speech is about empathy, right? Because he's battling
Yeah.
this.
I think that just made me appreciate it more that like we do get like that empathetic um tone from the movie. Because we're constantly fed that like that's a weakness. It's like
Yeah,
no, like the humanity depends on us being empathetic towards other people.
yeah.
It really does.
I think like it's more definitely empathy, but more along the lines of like the people you love, having empathy not just for strangers, but like the empathy that you're supposed to have with the people that are closest to you. Like
Yeah.
that seems to sometimes go down the wayside because we're used to them or their
Mhm,
family. Like
mhm.
they're not going anywhere, and you know that they're not, kind of a
Like
thing.
at that point, you're not my maid of honor anymore. Goodbye.
Yeah, I mean, that whole dynamic was interesting in itself, because she literally blows up on her. Emma ultimately like gets Rachel fired. Like, we don't really get too much detailed context about their job or what's happening. It's just kind of implied. But she
Mm.
ends up they work together, and she gets fired from a project that Emma's working on. And that leads to her calling, saying like, I'm out. And then Robert Pattinson's got to go address it, so on and so forth. One thing this movie really did really well too is its editing. There's a scene, a quick cut montage, like it's like a sex montage between Robert
Mhm.
Pattinson and Zendaya, because a topic of what he wants to do in the speech is talk about how good how good the sex
Yeah.
is, right? Like, no, you don't want to talk about that in front of her parents, your parents, right? But I think choosing to do that in literally like a 1.5, 2 second quick cut thing shows how you don't need to overdo the sexualization of a scene in a movie. Like, just from that cut, like it was pretty erotic and effective to get that point across, but you didn't take up a lot of time doing that, if
Yeah.
that makes
It
sense.
didn't need to be
A focal
that
point.
long.
For
It
sure.
Yeah.
was just
Like, you
glossed
got the
over.
point. You got the
Yeah,
point.
you got the point.
And editing that
One
similar
track mind, Robert Pattinson.
Yeah, he's so good. But also the editing around, like, when you get inside of Emma's mind about like what he's thinking and like starting her own little spiral, and we see scenes of that. And I just really appreciate the way this movie was cut up.
The spirals kind of took me out a little bit, like, because I wasn't understanding, like, oh, this is him thinking about her, or this is her thinking about her own childhood, or this is her thinking about what he's thinking. That kind of like did throw me off a little bit, I could say. But now that you say it, it clicks and it makes sense. Like, it's what he was thinking.
I mean,
or
it's not
she.
It's not conventional in the way it tells the story in that way. So like if you blink too hard, you might miss something. You know what I mean? Before we get to double recommendation, just a quick yes or no. Well, maybe the whole point is that it's not a quick yes or no. I'll just ask you this. If you found out the person you're about to marry or are married to or whatever had planned a mass school shooting, would that change the way you look at them?
I'm like, maybe ask Adrian.
Adrian volunteers for tribute.
Yeah.
No, it would not. I feel like 100% that love means unconditionally. Like, you accept all of them, every single part. The crappy
you've
part,
seen
the
his
good
dreamy
part.
eyes every time his wife
Let's
comes
see
in
the
the
eyes,
room.
Adrian.
Come on now.
We're all sinners, right? We all mess up. We all have skeletons in the closet. So if I choose you, I choose all of
think in
you.
the situation of how it was, of like her not going through the reform, the things that she did after to kind of like
the lack of
correct
therapy,
that.
you mean? Like a lack of therapy or a lack of like bearing it? Because they even comment on that about what Freud says about like bearing your I forgot what it says, but essentially that like it'll resurface worse, right? So it kind of touches on that processing.
I meant more of like just like how, like, the shame and regret that she felt, right? Because like you don't really see that in the scenario of a lot of the people who do end up um like taking out like
carrying out
plan.
their plan.
Like, yeah, like actually like doing their plans and having that happen, which we live in America. It has been happening.
And they comment on that too, about the American culture.
But the fact that like she feels shame and regret, like I don't think I would turn my back on a partner that I really loved if that was something that they shared with me.
Yeah.
So,
well, those
I think
are
it
great.
also depends on the person, right? So like kind of like how Adrian is, like they've been together for so long. He has no doubts. She has no doubts. I think that if I was in that same situation, kind of same thing. Like, my love for you is unconditional. Like, if you need help with this, or if you need to exercise those demons, kind of thing. Like, that's what your partner's there for.
This movie get your brain cooking. You know,
I'm telling you, it's
I
a
love
conversation. Y'all are gonna want to
great.
talk about it. It's a very good movie.
Double feature recommendations.
Whoa! You didn't answer.
Not yet?
You didn't answer.
You guys gave such great answers.
Would you think of them different? Would you think of them different?
I mean, again,
oh boy, you're already messing up, man. See?
No. Well, here's the thing. I'm not in a position where I'm not married. I'm not engaged. I'm not in any dynamic like that.
Say you're dating somebody for a year and you find out this. Are you like, man, that's a red flag?
I want to talk. I need context, like similar to how Robert Pattinson needed context. I need to know the context. That's all.
Let me tell you why. He's an Aquarius. He needs the information. He needs all the information.
Heaven forbid I make a decision on something without information.
That's an air sign for you.
Yeah. I mean, listen, ultimately, I'll tell you this. On a straight answer, unconditional, I'll still back that person, whatever. But what's more important than the what is the how, as far as like the context. Yeah, I live off of context. And again, like I said, what the movie does with like the trailer, what the trailer does as far as like images, thumbnails, you have no idea what's happening until you get the context. And I operate that way very much. So, double feature recommendations for the drama. Adrian, you kick us off. What would you recommend to pair for the drama?
So I just saw Vince Vaughn in that new movie. So I'm going the Vince Vaughn route and going with The Breakup with Vince Vaughn, Jennifer Aniston, just for like the whole awkwardness and the uncomfortability of a breakup, or like in their finding out some tragic information that may change the way you feel about somebody. That awkwardness, I definitely felt it in both movies, and I would say watch The Breakup. It's a little more comedic, although I guess I
It's
can't really say that because this movie was funny too. It was comedic, right? So they're both
they're
kind of on the same level.
they're on this. They're two different kinds of dark rom-coms. You know
Yeah,
what I mean? I think The Breakup is more like it's heavy
Way more
themes
high emotion, like way more
pick one
in The
side or the
Breakup.
other. This person or this person. Which side do you fall on the fence, right?
well, a little bit. I don't want to say. I want to say maybe a little bit more tragic because, like, with the drama, like you're getting the stories, so it's more drama versus like the tragedy of like you're breaking up with this person, like you're finally realizing that like you're not compatible. Like that's a really tough.
That's tough. Yeah, it's tough themes. I would and I think maybe the drama is like the prestige version. Like as far as the craft of filmmaking is a bit better with drama. No,
Right. Yeah,
Erica, you're
for sure.
smiling. It was
Yeah, no, that's a good way to put it.
whereas The Breakup is like it's heavy, but it's still
It's in your face for sure.
it's like fluffy. I
It's
don't know how
still
to explain it.
playful.
It's still playful, and so is this.
Yeah.
This is playful too.
Yeah.
But it's great
It's
pick,
it's
Adrian.
Vince Vaughn and Jennifer Aniston, and it's
Right.
Zendaya and Robert Pattinson. So
That's a good double
very
feature.
different
I like that.
dynamic.
Erica, what would you pair with the drama?
I'm gonna go with a classic. It was adapted from a book. I'm gonna go with Something Borrowed.
Oh,
Have either of you seen this movie?
have not.
I,
I have not.
it's definitely not something that would be in either of your guys' wheelhouse.
Okay.
But it definitely there's a lot of like betrayal, a lot of secrets, a lot of things that are like unveiled, very much along the same lines as the drama, just not well, oh, yeah, it's actually kind of dramatic. But yeah,
I
I
think I
don't
have seen it.
are either of you guys planning on watching this movie?
Adrian said you saw it.
I've seen bits and pieces. My wife's watched this, and I've
Essentially,
seen part
yeah,
of it. Yeah.
essentially it's like friends sleeping with other friends' partners, but they've been in love the whole time, and she ends up it's a lot of intertwined stuff,
Wow.
but would
And
definitely,
apparently
if you haven't seen it, I highly recommend it.
the lead character there is named Rachel as well. Just from what I see here.
Yeah, and she's the one that's in the wrong.
Oh dear. Oh dear.
Well, both of them are, but it kind of like it comes to a head at the same time, and it's
Okay.
rough.
So I have a triple feature, I guess, and it's leaning more towards one. Because I picked two because one of which is one
The
that
category is double feature,
well, you know what? It's our own podcast. We can make the rules here. Die My Love, because Robert Pattinson's in it, and it's like again like a dark comedy, but very surreal in the way of like what's real, what's not. And I thought Robert Pattinson is great in that as well. And then
I think
also,
he's gonna become like a great. Like I think we're gonna
I mean, he's
revisit a
been
lot of
great.
his film. Well, I meant like like we have our greats from like
The
the
previous
early
generation.
movies and stuff like that. I think he's going to give us a lot of good performances. I
Yeah.
think he's very talented.
Well, we're not there yet, Adrian. I know you're holding back. And then I would also say Eternal Sunshine of the Spotless Mind, because that talking about like very heavy topics of like a relationship and what you feel and the highs and lows of it all, and obviously again the craft of the filmmaking there. I would argue that is a top 5 favorite movie for me of all time, and I think uh the themes of love and empathy and whatnot are there also. So if you want like a stay on the trip side of a film, go Eternal Sunshine of the Spotless Mind. Let's draft some stock, and let me get our hat and paper since you guys don't want the wheel anymore. 1 second.
Just Erica 1, you 2, I go 3.
No, take it easy. Hold on.
Quick and simple.
All right, so
Did
we're
you
drafting out
pull
of a hat.
Erica's out of the freezer?
Adrian's comment is that our wheel of cinema has had him last, arguably, realistically, like 85,
Honestly, like the majority of the time.
85 to 90% of the time, which is pretty crazy. So
I think it's closer to 90, but yeah.
so I'm now drafting out of
Some would call that destiny.
our Thorns hat. Well, let's see. We'll see right here. Okay. We'll see right here. Okay. Drafting first. Drafting first is Adrian.
Oh no, Michael.
There it is. There it
True.
is.
Your algorithm.
That's funny. All right. Drafting second is me. All right.
I'm dead.
And then just to
How
prove
convenient.
that, just to
is
prove
so
that Erica's
funny.
is in here. There you go. Okay. Adrian.
That looked like a sideways M.
First of all, you're going to say that my M is longer than my E.
Yeah, that's an E. Turn it sideways.
See the header right here? Header? There you go. For you audio listeners, don't worry. I didn't cheat. Okay. So far in this draft, 2 people have been drafted. Adrian has Robert Pattinson from Down My Love. I would say stock going up in that regard.
Mm.
I have Ari Aster as a producer. So I would say stock going up there as well. I'd say it broke even, a little plateau for Eddington. But nonetheless, those 2 are off the board. So Adrian, who are you
I
drafting?
forget you didn't really like Eddington. I think we both didn't really.
I think I gave it a thumbs up.
I think I need to watch it again.
I
think that's a movie I need to revisit.
It was a thumbs up. I think I just love Ari Aster so much that I was expecting like something. We got to do our watch along for Hereditary. That'll be on the book too, so Adrian can finally see it. Adrian, who are you drafting from this movie?
I'm taking my girl Zendaya.
Damn.
Coleman.
That's tough. Zendaya, Coleman, Domingo.
I'm crying, dude. That was so funny.
You saw that interview?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've seen probably all of them like multiple times. They're so funny.
So you're taking Zendaya. Any further thoughts on her performance, or?
I mean, for her being fairly new to the game, like she's so good. Good. She's on point. I know she started as a child actor and but for her to be in like main, like big time movies, this is what her 4th or 5th role. She's on point and she's just going to keep climbing. Like there's no stopping her. I think this is
one of her best performances I've seen her in.
I'd agree. I mean, obviously she really broke out in Euphoria. But if we were to compare
her, she does a great job.
Which she does a great job, and all the credit there to her. But if we compare her to, like, let's say a Sydney Sweeney who's tried to transition to film, and like it's just day and night as far as
Sydney Sweeney's
talent.
trash.
Skills. Yeah.
Skills. Acting skills. Sydney might have different skills.
Probably not.
Yeah, I doubt it.
Okay. I don't want to trash people too
Those
much
aren't
here.
skills. Those aren't skills.
No, we can trash her.
Okay. Fair enough.
If you're not going to condemn white supremacy right then and there on the spot, then shut the fuck up.
You heard it here first, folks. And
that's on my mama.
From the drama, from America's Mama. Damn, that's a tough beat. I was gonna take Zendaya because obviously she's great.
She's in a shit ton this year too. She's got Dune 3. She's got Spider-Man. She's got The Odyssey.
Married to Tom Holland. Like, they are the couple.
Well, they're not married yet.
Oh, I thought is that all part of the
No,
marketing?
I think it was all part of the press stuff.
See what I mean?
Yeah.
Brilliant.
I'm telling you, like, she crashed a wedding. Like, crazy.
So, as we're going through Zendaya, like, did you know she's set up for Shrek 5?
Yeah, she's the daughter. Everybody guessed the plot of the Shrek 5 movie, so then they had to go back and fix the plot.
What do you mean? Are you asking us to guess, or what do you mean?
No. There's these 2 other podcasters who were like, oh, this is what it's going to be. It's going to be this. The daughter's Zendaya. She's going to want to go away from the swamp. Shrek's going to say no. He's going to have to help. And then like a week or two later, they were like, oh, Shrek's been postponed. And mind you, they better not keep that damn animation. They better go back to the original. People will riot. It's not going to do well if it keeps it. I won't go see it.
Because it's a different animation, right?
They changed the animation.
Tough
DreamWorks.
Tough beat. Well,
Chill.
folks, by the way, just again, why you want to like, comment, subscribe so you don't miss a thing. It is the 25th. It is this is 0 days since Erica's talked about Shrek, A, and B. It is. We really got to do that because, like,
you weren't here, Adrian. We talked about Shrek the last podcast, and then Michael goes, and we're back at 0 days.
Yeah, but this year is the 25th anniversary of Shrek, so we will be revisiting that when it hits theaters as they're re-releasing Shrek again. This podcast is running long. I'm just going to take my draft pick. I love Alana Haim. I love her. I actually thought she was sticking out during that 4-person table dinner scene. Like, everyone else felt so natural. I didn't like her in that scene. Overall, she played great. Once it kept going, I got used to it, but she kind of stuck out to me. Otherwise, I love Alana, so I'm not going to take her. I'm going to stick true to form. I'm going to stay true to form. And
pick another man who's a director. Very freaking on brand, Michael.
Christopher Borgli. Christopher Borgli is my pick. Thank you very much. I love Dream Scenario. Like I said, he seems to be a collaborator with Ari Aster. There's only really like a handful of people in this movie, so you know what I mean. I'm going to take a creative if that opportunity is there. So Christopher Borgli, welcome to the team. Erica, go ahead.
It's cool. I am going to take Alana Haim anyway, and I'll tell you why. Like I said, I was fucking annoyed with her. I hated her. I thought she was a terrible friend. I wanted to go in there and beat her ass for Zendaya. But I think that proves to like how good of an actress she is. I think people who are able to elicit like that itch under your skin, they have a real natural talent for that. That's not an easy feat to accomplish. So
I feel like you're also the one that says if it's that easy for them to be a douchebag, they probably are in real life. I feel like you've said that before.
But she hasn't always played that character, though. She hasn't always played a piece of shit. It would be different, like, if she played a piece of shit all the time. So, like,
sure.
We'll bring it up again. Timothée Chalamet, like, his character in Dune is a piece of shit. His character in Marty Supreme is a piece of shit. You know what I mean? So it's like
time for my board to get erased because Alana Haim got a great opportunity from Paul Thomas Anderson in Licorice Pizza, which I talked about earlier, and also in One Battle After Another. I mean, she's not in it for long, spoiler alert. But great pick. I mean, if we consider how well her band does with her sisters, that could be stock going up also. Again, not my genre, but I dig it. Just like the movie Basic I watched. Anyways, thank you guys for listening. We're wrapping up. This has been a long episode, but I think we could, honestly, I feel like we could have kept talking about this movie. Like, there's so much we didn't even really touch on. So if you made
there's a lot we didn't unpack.
It's correct. We didn't unload the clip, if you will.
It's a lot to unpack, too.
But make sure to follow, like, comment, subscribe, be a part of the tribe. Seeing This Pod, go to seeingthispod.com to catch all of our episodes, merch, movie anniversaries, drafts, interviews, all the things. We're having a great time over here, as you can clearly see, so you don't want to miss out. Like I said, interview coming Friday that you don't want to miss out because we're highlighting Movie Madness, sacred screens and stages. So if you haven't seen the first episode, go check it out. A lot of effort goes into it. Appreciate the likes, the comments, the subscribe, the share. Do it all so we can stay alive here at Seeing This. And until next time, stay safe.
Peace.